Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this video. We are going to kick off a little mini series and I'm calling it Done by December. Not an original tagline, but as I'm getting my 2023 December album thought through, some lists made, and collection collected so I know what I'm going to put in the book, I've been thinking about my 2022 book. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, this is my 2022 book. Last year I used the Velvet 6x8 album. I'm using that again this year. I don't know, I just really love it. So, you got to use what you love. So this is why I'm using it. But as I was going through this book, and I knew this already, but I just really came up to the reality of it today. My book is not done. Can anyone relate to that reality? Please raise your hand. This is not the only book that's not done. As I was going through my album collection, I realized the last book I completed was 2020. So if you would like to see a walkthrough of a completed book, 2020, I'd love to hear your vote in the comments. In the meantime, what I'd like to do today is talk about 2022, what I have finished, and maybe even some thoughts as to how I'm going to get this finished by December. Okay, I love starting my books. You probably have seen the 2023 opening page. There's a video. I will link it. It was a super fun page, shaker page. I love to start my books with just a really fun, extra layered, creative kind of page. And this book, no different. You can see I have 2022 here. I use some Distress Oxide. I use actually the stencil, I believe, is from ScrapbookCom, and it's on Rangers, like wood grain paper. I think I also have this tutorial. I'll have to check and see. If any of these videos exist, I will for sure have them linked below if you have any interest in seeing how this was put together. And so it was layered on a die cut that was a plaid die cut that I know is no longer available. But I added some mica stain to it, so it's got some sparkle. You can't really see it in the camera, but I can see it here. I added this rose gold label and then the Merry Christmas stamp, and I cut out the 22 for the year. The 22 is for the year. And so that is all layered on an acetate, kind of a thicker type of acetate paper. When you turn it over, you can see how much of that acetate now, can't you? When you turn it over, I made a little pocket, and the pocket is interactive, as are most pockets, Jamie. Hello. And what I did here is I added in, this is basically my first story. I go ahead and give this a number. I gave it number 1, and it's my why. And so this is fun in terms of being able to have a fun and creative page, bringing in all my favorite things, lots of different papers, lots of different labels, and there's a collage of different collections that are going on here. And that's the thing too. Let me make a point about that. That's one of my tips I want to share. I don't necessarily do December daily. Ali Edwards definitely has the market on that amazing approach. I do watch her videos. I pay attention to what a lot of the creators are doing. I don't necessarily buy that kit. And what I have found, I use a whole bunch of what I already have. And maybe that would be its own video as well, to show you the collection and pieces that I pulled together. Things that I had last year, maybe I didn't use them up. I mean, this wish here, this came from just an everyday alpha die, right? It wasn't necessarily anything special to Christmas by any means. Piece of ribbon in my stash, green paper. That paper is Christmas, obviously, to back up this tag. And this little journal paper, that could come from anywhere. That could be, it's probably 49 Market Ephemera. But you understand what I'm saying? Same here. This is an older Vicky Bouton paper and label. I don't even know where the label came from. The sentiment is a rub-on. And the ticket, I don't know, probably 49 Market. I don't know, probably, I don't remember where everything comes from. Because I just collect everything I have, and I pull bits and pieces and stamp colors and dies, and I have it ready to go. So that's how this came about. And then I just typed on some vellum sticker paper my journaling, and that's how come it looks like it's typed right on the journal card itself. So let me come over here. This is typically my first story. Whatever reason, I made it my second story. And another thing about that is something I have learned from Ali Edwards. Back in the day, I don't know, I must have 10 to 12 years of December type albums. And so back in the day, I would try really hard to do the story of the day, right? Like whatever was actually happening that day, I had to make sure I captured it. That got a little overwhelming for me, and I have no longer gone about that direction for my books. So you're going to see here, and this is something you're going to see in every one of my albums actually, one of the first days, this one happens to be day number 2, is a photo of my family at some point in time. They just all happened to be all in town on Thanksgiving. And I knew I was going to want this for my December album. It's just a way to document the year, right? December isn't necessarily all about Christmas. To me, this is documenting the year and having place to say, this is what we look like in 2022. It fills my heart. This is something that's really important to me. So we had this picture taken at Thanksgiving when everybody was here. And then I just added it to my December album. And this is a bit interactive here. So you can flip the page here, and I had it larger because it was a very wide photo because there's 10 of us in here. And so this was a very wide photo. So I decided to go ahead and have it printed out 5x7 so I could have it a little bit bigger of all of us. Then what I did is I created an interactive page. So this is layered on vellum, and you flip the vellum over. On the back of that, I have written out my journaling. And that's something else too. I'm going to warn you right now. I have not complete for the pages that are completed in here. My journaling is not done. And I am completely embracing that. Even as I've been writing and catching up a little bit, I've just said, I'm writing this a year later, and here's my observations and my thoughts and the story I want to tell. I am not in any way, shape, or form getting down on myself because I didn't get this book done this last year. It's okay, and I am going to just embrace that and enjoy what I do have. And there might even be some stories I'm like, you know what? Okay, so I have 24 stories in here. I'm going to be okay with that too. We're going to really see how it goes this week, so stay tuned for that. I have tutorialed this page, and in here I made a pocket. This is one of the DIY nested pockets. I have several videos, different ideas for these pockets. This is a great die set. It gets used over and over again here. And I had this great picture of my kid while we were out hunting for our tree. And then I added a little bit of journaling to the back of it. Mainly about him, but also about our journey getting our tree, because it's kind of a new tradition to us and it holds such value to us now. So now this story in particular is actually several pages long, which isn't how I would maybe typically make a story in my December album. This one though, to me, it just needed more pages. And so I went with that. So I used a photo collage to add these photos in here and just printed that all out on one page. Then I typed up my journaling about the story here. I used these flip pages. This is part of the ScrapbookCom album system. And so these are 3x4 pockets, and this one opens up. So I have a spread here of, look at this page right here. I love this because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 12 photos on this one page. Not to mention this extra photo here. And then, okay, I thought I had journaling in there, but I don't. I think I have it on the next page. So just a great, great day and a great story. And it ends here on this page. I definitely really love how that turned out. Something else I really love, and I've noticed as I was kind of looking back in some of my photos, or some of my albums rather, I noticed I am really a fan of the big pictures. And I love playing with my camera and getting these bokeh shots of our tree. And so it just kind of segued into, we got our tree and here's what our tree looks like. Another picture of our tree. This becomes story number 4. And this is the story number 4 is the decorating of our tree, which was its own story this year because of how many people were not around to do what is usually a traditional opportunity for us. And I will tell you too, I do not have journaling here. So this is one of the spots where there is not journaling. This page, I cut it down just a little bit shorter. I love having these out of the pocket pages, but then making pages that are even shorter than the full 8 inches that this album could go to. And then I just printed these all in squares. They're all printed individually and added to that page. For day number 5, I went with just a stamped page. Peace on Earth Will Come to All If We Just Follow the Light is a song. I heard it in a song and I just loved it. And that became today's story, was just stamping out lyrics to a song. And I love having the freedom of doing that. I love not putting myself in a box of, well, day 5 had to have its own story, but it doesn't. and it still really works wonderfully for me. I love how it works. Okay, this is actually a very recent page. There is a recent video on this. We'll link it below. This is day 6, and day 6 was St. Nicholas Day. So for day 6, it's a no, just like this, it's a no photo day. And what I did on my tags here, and I have 3 tags that are stashed in here, and I show you how to make this pocket in that video, but I added different prayers for St. Nicholas Day. And I loved doing that. This was a brand new thing for me to do. I love having this really, to me, a very layered and embellished page come up against a little bit more of a plain page, right? Because it's just stamping. I love how those two play together. I love having those prayers in here. I love this being day 6. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have a blank page here, and I don't really know what I was thinking at the time. I could come back in here and add a pattern paper. I could just leave it blank. I could just do like an embellished thing in the middle. There's several things I could do. The thing is, this is another non-photo page. Are you feeling a theme here? But this page has a lot of journaling to it. So what I did for this, as far as the mechanics of making it, I used a piece of acetate that I layered up against some pattern paper. And then because I like the floating aspect of it because you can see beyond it. And then I die cut 6 circles, larger circles, and then I die cut 5 smaller circles. And then I created little flaps with each of those circles, and I used a stamp to give me prompts, which I love having prompts for journaling. So perfect gift, shopping, tradition, holiday baking on the nice list. And then I just made some notes. And this was actually December 7th. What do you know? And that works really well too. If there isn't a photo, another suggestion, I'm sure this is out there somewhere. You know, if it's December 7th and you don't have any kind of story you want to tell, well then maybe you can find December prompts everywhere. Just check out Pinterest. Maybe create for yourself a prompt page and then answer those prompts. I guarantee you are going to want to have that story someday. I'm looking forward to taking some time here and going through what I wrote on each of the circles. 2 completely blank pages. And then when I come over here, I believe this is my story 8. Why have space in between? I do not remember. This is all kind of, and I realized too, I don't even have a number on here. I don't have all my journaling in. And I do know what happened on December 3rd, and it's my sister's birthday, which is the 12th. I mean, you talk about being all over the place on this particular story. But you know what is done? A page that I absolutely love. This was a mixed media page that I did. I did a little bit of gel plate printing on this, and I loved how it turned out. I loved using the silver and getting really wintry looking with it. I throw her a birthday party every year, and we have a lovely cake and a hot chocolate bar, and I deck out our front room, and it's just full of lights. And this was her 50th birthday, so it was extra special. I do have a place here for journaling, but this is kind of fun. Can you see this? It's a shaker vellum page, and it's really pretty. It's got this gorgeous large snowflake done in metallic paper, and then a smaller one, a little sequence, and underneath you have all these sequins. I really liked how that turned out. Super fun. And a space here for journaling. Then we turn it over. I just have more photos. So I use some photo templates that are in my digital stash to create these pages. And so again, when you're using smaller photos, you're getting a lot of story in terms of photos on one page. So that is a favorite page. But you know what, guys? That's basically where this page ends. So I added in, to kind of complement what was going on over here, I added this vellum page with another snowflake. It's just like this snowflake here, but a little bit bigger. And then what I did here, I actually printed this photo on vellum. So this is a photo that's enlarged. It's just about 6x8, not quite. It's of some gift toppers that I had made, and I printed it on vellum paper, and that became part of the story. Something else that I always add to my back of my book, I have cards in here. I have cards from the specialist of people. I don't keep every card, but I do keep quite a few cards, and I love that I can just put them in a pocket page protector in the back of my album. I have it backed with paper, and that stays in there. So I have 1 week in here. I don't know how much more I'm going to put in here. I know for sure I'm going to have Christmas Day. I know for sure I'm going to have, some other school events that happened. If I don't get this book all filled out this next week, I'm really going to be okay with it, because something is better than nothing. So I wanted to share that with you today as sort of I know it's probably late for some people to start your December album thinking, and that's fine. Obviously we're not actually doing our pages yet, because most of us do actually wait till December starts, but I'm going to try and attempt to finish some of these pages in this next week. I will pop in here with some videos. I will link below the previous videos of the making of some of these pages. I'd love to hear from you on where you're at with do you do December daily strictly? Do you do a December album of some sort? Do you do a mini album? What is your go-to? I'd love to hear. And you know what else I love? I love that everyone who comments in here, someone else is reading it, because they get inspired by what you have to share as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you don't already. Check out the video links below, and I will see you in the next video.